Jolie here for second. That was Zach Parker for the first time, actually, joined by yourself. Obviously, just looking behind you there, I know you've been a boxing fan your whole life, but just looking up at like the big screen, it's bigger than a cinema screen, and seeing yourself obviously headlining in Birmingham, how good is that?
It's amazing. Obviously, yeah, I'll hold it. Oh, you're on it. Yeah, it's amazing. Obviously, you see BT and Frank Warren, and obviously all my other team, Neil Marsh and BCB, they're all putting me out these massive things, and it's about time really. I've been coming under the radar a lot, and we're here now, and I'm excited.
Marcus Morrison's the man that you're going to be facing, also on the poster on the screen this Saturday. How long have you known about this fight, and how much does it excite you?
Yeah, I knew about the last press conference, the first one, and literally knew 20 minutes before and it was going to be him. I was looking for other fights like Celeb Truax and David Lemieux was on up there, and always big names, but none of them wanted to put up, and Marcus has stepped up to the plate, and yeah, it's going to be a good fight for the fans, all British look out. Yeah, I just can't wait now.
It must be good, obviously, now you're with BT, and you've been with BT for a little while, but being able to mention these names and truly know that you can fight them, because boxing isn't always like that.
No, boxing is politics, and you need to be with the right people, and now I'm with Frank Warren and BT, I feel like I am with the right people, and they can make the big fights, and I feel like we're in a good place, and obviously WBO No. and we're just around the corner from these massive world title fights, and I can't wait.
Now I've got to mention the fact that kind of everyone going into this fight is saying Zach Parker's a favourite. Is he gonna underestimate Marcus Morrison? That's just a fact. That's what everyone's saying going into this. What do you make of that? And I'm not going to ask you if you are underestimating him, but what do you make of the talk of that you might not take him too seriously?
No, this is a fight game. You got to take every person seriously. I've took all 21 fights seriously, and even against journeyman, you can't. You see Marcus Morrison, he's lost to journeyman before, and you can't take any of these lightly, and you got to be on ball with every, especially when I'm WBO No. They're coming to take my spot, and I can't allow that to happen. So yeah, I ain't underestimating no one, and it's going to be a really good fight. He's going to bring it in the year, and May says he's going to knock me out in that. So we'll just have to wait and see.
You've been WBO No. mandatory for a while now, but would you say this is the biggest fight of your life?
I don't know. I think the Murdoch fight was a bit bigger. Not unlike the stage. The stage is very the same, but like he was number one, I was number two, and was both going out for the WBO mandatory spot. So yeah, it's close. It's up there because obviously he's going to bring it. But I just feel like my best beats his best, and we'll see it on November 6th.
Does it excite you, although you're not fighting Canelo, but the fact you're fighting on the same night, kind of aligning you two to potentially fight?
Yeah, that's it. BT got the rights for the Canelo fight, and it lands in the same day, so it can't be any better than that. And obviously I'll be the build up for the Canelo card, like the England side, and it's amazing being on these massive shows, and especially headlining. You don't get many Derby boys doing that, and yeah, it's amazing.
Talking about Derby, you're obviously at the game. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, last week it was, yeah.
And meeting Wayne Rooney, being in and around it, going on the pitch. Just talk to me about how exciting that is for you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Obviously, Derby, I've supported them all my life since I was a little kid, and yeah, it's good that they're starting to get behind me a lot more now, and I got a massive reception there when all the fans cheering me. I was walking back towards my box and everyone was like that clapping. So yeah, it was good, and obviously meeting Wayne Rooney. Weren't meant to meet him at first, to be fair, because obviously we lost. It was 2-1, and we just said, oh, you don't want to meet anyone because he's pissed off and that. But yeah, we was on a walk outside taking a couple of pictures of BT, and he opened one of the side doors next to us, and he said, "Come over here quickly." I was like, "Oh, right," buzzing with it. Like, I had a couple of pictures of him and spoke about the game, and hopefully be able to come to one of my fights soon, and maybe get him to bring one of my titles out.
Yeah, I know he's a big boxing fan. Seen him ringside a couple of times. What for you growing up was it? Was it you wanted to be a boxer from 5 years old, or was it football until you were say 10, 15, like a lot of boxers?
No, I did them both. Obviously, more my family was so I've got a boxing family, and my dad was a boxer, both my brothers, and I've grew up in the gym, and I played football as well. I was quite a good footballer back in the day. I had Charlton, Forest, and Man United, and my dad said, "Listen, got to stick to your boxing." Won a couple of 4 national titles as an amateur, and now we're in the pros and WBO #1, not far away from the world champion. So I feel like I've done the right decision.
Yeah, not far away from the biggest name in boxing with Canelo, as we've mentioned earlier. If he was watching, because we all know he's the biggest name, and potentially if he does become undisputed this Saturday night, he could go up. What do you want to say to him to make him want to stay in this division and fight you?
Yeah, you can't really say a lot because he's the cash cow and he's the man. He can do whatever he wants to do. Obviously, if he wins on the weekend, we don't know what he's going to do. He might move up to light heavy, or he might go for the Golovkin rematch again. But we're just ready. We're ready to fight. If Canelo is ready to take one of his mantras, I feel like I'm next in line for the mantras. We're ready to step up, and if he does vacate, there's some good fights there as well. Got like David Lemieux, Danny Jacobs, some massive fights. So yeah, we're ready for anyone, and we'll take on anyone. We'll do.
So you're saying if he was to say vacate, go up to light heavy, obviously do you think it's more likely that happens and you're not going to fight Canelo? In all honesty, being genuine, do you feel like the chances that when you fight for a world title are that it won't be against Canelo?
Yeah, maybe. Obviously he wants his massive fights, he wants to keep making history, and he's obviously pound for pound #1, so he don't want to be fighting a young up and comer. He wants to be fighting world champions, and that's why it makes me think he might move up to light heavy and take on another world champion. He wants to make history in that, like he says. But if I win a world title, if he vacates and I win that world title, he can always come down and face me. So it's that fight is never out. It's always around my weight class. So we're close to it.
And obviously he is fighting in your weight class this Saturday against Caleb Plant. Just prediction on it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. Caleb Plant's going to bring it. He's undefeated, and is a natural super middleweight. You've seen obviously Canelo's boxed twice at super middleweight, but that was against like Billy Joe. I think was a bit too small for him super middleweight, and Conor Smith, and I thought he was a bit growing out of it a bit. So yeah, he's the most natural super middleweight he's faced, and I think it's going to be a good fight. Maybe a Canelo stoppage, but if he gives away too many the early rounds to Caleb Plant, it could. And he's still in there when he's taking Canelo's biggest shots. It could be an interesting fight, but maybe a Canelo stoppage late.
Really interesting that. It's 8-minute interview. We've spoke about enough, but I just kind of from a fan's perspective, did you watch the first and second Triple G fight, and who do you think won those?
Yeah, I did watch them. The first one when I beat Luke Blacklish, I went to the casino and watched it in the casino. I did.
Maybe you can do that on Saturday.
Maybe we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, there was good fights. I think the first one, Golovkin nicked it on the first one, but you've seen the way Canelo come out in the second one, trying to push him back instead of on the back foot, and just shows he's a good fighter. And yeah, there's both good fights and one for the ages.
One more thing actually that's just popped up into my head. Obviously we see Daniel Dubois, who's with Frank Warren and BT Sport, go over to America. Maybe going over to America and fighting over there again is a big thing with BT again.
Yeah, I've said this before. With I want the Canelo fight. Obviously, I want to probably get a bigger name in America, and maybe the next fight could be there. We don't know. We don't know what's around the corner in boxing, and we're excited. And I'd love to go and fight over there. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll get through his fight on Saturday and then see what happens after.
Definitely, as you mentioned earlier, boxing with the politics and stuff, that's only going to help going to America. So yeah, who knows?
Yeah. A lot of politics and boxing, but I'm in the right place now with BT, Frank Warren, and yeah, we don't know what's around the corner.
Really appreciate your time. Good first interview with you. So hopefully, best of luck on Saturday. So, thank you.